Well, Richard, just days away from the start of a new season, what are your overriding thoughts?
Very excited. It was hard to plan end of last season where we'll be this season, but now we know where we are. Very, very excited. The expectations are very high. Finished last season very strongly. We've added to the squad. So yeah, expectations are very, very high.
Yeah, let's just touch on last season, because I guess kind of around that start of April time, there was an exercise in patience throughout the club, wasn't there, really?
Yes, there was. I think showing the squad, obviously led by Russ and Jimmy, to see them actually come out of adversity, really, it was a low point over that a period before that. And when we sat down and we discussed, right, come on, let's win every game at the end of the season and see what happens. And we didn't expect it, but we set our goal out, and they did, and it was actually what an amazing finish to the season.
Yeah, and in terms of your composure and their composure at that time, obviously you've had the benefit of 2 or 3 years working with them, and I guess it was your trust in them really that paid off in the end as well.
Yeah, I don't do social media. People feed me back information, but the focus really is believing in you pick the right people to do a job, and we believe 100% still they're the right people for the job. They've got an extended contract, so we did that for one reason. We do believe in them. They're learning. They're 2 young men. First job is obviously in management, and they're learning very quickly. So yes, continue to trust them, and let's see what they can achieve this season.
Yeah, football doesn't always lend itself to a long-term, bigger picture, does it? But as you say, that's what's important here, isn't it?
Yeah, they have great expectations of themselves, how they can learn, how they can develop on the job. And they have the same expectations as me. We've got a 3-year plan to get out of this league and get back. This stadium, the whole feel around Kidderminster is we're still bigger than this league now we're in. So if we can follow the footsteps of Wrexham and Notts County from last season, that's what we're going to do the next 2 or 3 seasons.
What kind of level of personal pride was there for you, Will, especially as someone with a local and a family connection to the club, to have just been the 3rd chairman to achieve a promotion at this football club? You must personally have enjoyed that also.
It was the celebrations on the Sunday night at Brackley were amazing. Didn't really sink in because it came so quickly. The margins were so small. The expectations of all the pundits, everybody was saying, look, you're going into as favourites, even into the final as favourites. It's really hard to understand how we can go from being written off to favourites in a very short period of time. So it didn't really sink in until waking up Monday morning very hungover. So it was a big surprise to most of us, I think. And
I suppose those will be memories that you and your family and everyone associated with you. You carry those for a long time now.
Yeah. Being at Wembley with Dad in the FA Trophy final, having my 2 sons there, brought back a lot of great memories. But again, we want more. We want that Wembley trip, if that's through the playoffs, if that's FA Trophy. We're very lucky this year to be further on in both competitions in the first round. So the expectations just getting higher and higher and higher. And memories. It's always about memories, and we've already in the last 2 seasons made some amazing memories, not just for me and my family, but for Kidderminster and the whole community.
I guess the start of any new season is the time really where you tend to have a period of reflection. How do you reflect on the last few years of your ownership, if you like? Because it's been eventful, to say the least. Yeah,
we picked the club up, unfortunately, potentially at its lowest, and I think when you looked around the ground, things were very old and tired. If you look around the ground now, it's new, it's vibrant, it's exciting, and I think we were up there with the home fans. Home fans are absolutely unbelievable, even when we weren't playing that well. But towards the end of the season, again, massive. So expectations are to make this a fortress for this year. Great fans, and again, I want to have the biggest fans if we can, home fans, in the league, for fighting for that title at least. So, yeah, expectations very high. I think they do live in the playoffs. That's really where our expectations are.
And you've talked about the memories and the things that we'll carry forward with us. The promotion and obviously West Ham in the FA Cup, which we didn't even touch on. But how would you assess some of the challenges you've had over the last few years?
The challenge is really is to get the community and business, local business people and good friends and good contacts of mine to believe in the project. Really, we've had with Russ and Jimmy and really the team here. I think they've all believed in it, and I think they've seen it. And yes, I think the light came on when we had the great FA Cup run. That really helped us financially as well to invest heavily here in new floodlights, training ground. We've got sort of 15, 16 pitches now which have water. So every bit of money we earn, and we deliberately earn through any good cup runs, we reinvest in. So yeah, it kicked off last year, the expectations, and it was a silly sort of dream to start with, that in a very short period of time we'd have a great FA Cup run. My wish was to have that, a promotion and a trip to Wembley. So we've done really, outside COVID, we've done 2 out of 3, so my expectations are very, very high.
Yeah, and just to touch on some of what you said there, so much of what football fans see naturally is on the pitch on a Saturday and inside the stadium, but so much, as you talk about, improvement-wise, has been in the infrastructure and commercially. There's been so much progress there as well.
That's right. People don't understand that we have such a small team here. People just think we've got 30, 40, 50 people behind the scenes, running this operation. It's not. We're talking sort of half dozen people who work very, very hard and dedicated. And I think you have to take the hats off to those people for supporting this dream that I have, and Russ and Jimmy has. But we're flattered. I'm flattered every week, every month, that people invest in the football club, and we keep putting it back in. And we do feel we're creating something very special here. We had a meeting. We were invited to the Warwick Forest District Council's meeting last week, and the support, is there. It's coming, and the desire is to get bigger and stronger. And I think we're on a very, very good path to achieve that in the next few years.
Yeah, as a prominent and successful local business person yourself, you'll appreciate obviously the importance of connecting with local business from a corporate point of view as well, and that's another area, just looking around the stadium, as you pointed out, the club's gone strength to strength in recent years.
Yes, we are encouraging business people not just to come here and spend time with us, but to network and share their business ideas, share obviously what they're trying to do with their business in the next few years. And we've got that sense of community, not just in businesses, but for staff. We've got many clients now who are engaging with their staff to give them tickets, to make sure that they feel that they're valued by their companies as well. And it's just slowly sort of really galvanising as an important product, not just obviously for community but for businesses locally. And if we keep pushing that, and we get more and more people investing in us, sharing that dream with their staff with their families, we've got a great future in support for the club.
We touched on the local aspects, players, supporters, sponsors. It must please you especially to see so much progress being made with the pathway, and that the club's producing its own talent regularly.
Yeah, in I think it's about 2018, we were voted. We provided more professional footballers into the Football League than any other club, I believe. That was 17-18, I think, the season. And we're trying to again emulate that. We've got 3 sort of players in and around the first team from the pathway. We've got now 3 very young men coming through, and it's very, very exciting. If we can produce sort of talent that we're seeing at the moment continuously now for the next few years, it's very, very exciting. Very exciting.
And that's the thing you talk about. Obviously, Tom Palmer and Ethan Fremantle, the established players that people will know now from having played here week in, week out. But for every one of them, there's a new intake, if you like, of players who are starting that pathway journey, and you must want to see that keep going from strength to strength. Yeah,
absolutely. I think being promoted and being now in a higher league, again, the expectations are even higher now. These, the young boys coming through, and I think it's a harder task for them, a higher task, but they will achieve it. And what we're seeing in the friendlies is that they're already, in my opinion, one step ahead where we were maybe a couple of years ago with some of the juniors.
We have to touch on our loyal Agra faithful, the Harriers fans, who, to say who've stuck with us over the last few years would be a massive understatement, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. I think in every football term you've got to enjoy the highs and keep supporting obviously through the lows, and I think overall the last sort of couple of seasons we've had some very, very, very big highs. So yeah, expecting to retain the core and then add is what we've got to do. The expectation for us now is over 3,000 home fans, and please either buy your season ticket or we'll have promotions from time to time regarding family tickets, but please come and support us.
And that's the thing, isn't it? You'll have the black and white and the statistics of, again, record season ticket sales going into the National League season now, but to be able to have people from the area inside the ground enjoying football, enjoying their overall match day experience, that's something that must bring you great satisfaction.
It does. The feedback from a lot of our key sponsors coming here, compared to some of the Premiership teams that they used to support, or still do maybe, but they come here every week, is a family community feel to it. They feel comfortable in their surroundings, and it really is encouraging to understand that if people are falling out with love with their Premiership love, this is the perfect place to be. It's great football, great facilities, great food, and we do believe it'll be great football this season, and it's entertainment to the full. I think we'll see better teams here. It'll bring the best out of us, rather than some of the tactics that some of the teams in the previous division came and tried to deliver. This will be football, and it'll be really exciting. And what a place to watch! If anybody sees the pitch at the moment and the surrounding, it's an amazing place to be. So please make sure you come to the first game of the season on the 5th of August.
Yeah, that's it. It starts against Woking. Tough opposition, but hopefully we'll have a big crowd here, and the atmosphere, I'm sure, will be electric.
It will. Definitely will be. And again, expectations on the pitch, it's exactly the same as off the pitch. It's big fans, big crowds, and we will definitely sort of entertain. So don't miss.
And is that your overriding message completely as well, in the sense that as much as we have achieved, we're not prepared to just kind of sit on that now. We want to keep taking steps forward.
Absolutely. It wasn't our goal just to get promoted. We were very proud from an FA Cup run to put Kidderminster on the map again. It is, again, with the community meetings that we've been having, with the council meetings, it demonstrates how important the football club is for Kidderminster and North Worcestershire, and that's what we've got to keep driving, making sure this is a point for people to meet, to talk, to meet new friends, and to enjoy themselves, even engage with their own family. So it's a great place to be, and we look forward to seeing everybody next season here supporting the team, because we need to make sure that those voices are heard. And if we're 1-0 down, it can always be turned around. If we're 2-0 down, it can always be turned around. And we think it's a 12th man. You've heard Russ and Jimmy talk about a 12th man a lot, and away as well. So we have a great away support. But let's continue driving that. We never ever rest on our laurels. We want to push and push and push, and hopefully that means points, and points mean higher up in the league. And then obviously we go from there. We go again.